type in the comments if you want to. What's up, guys? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Welcome to Accountability Monday. I always want to say what sold Wednesday. That rolls off the tongue much better. Accountability Monday. So welcome. This is a Monday call I do every single Monday with other resellers. I'm thinking I might open it up to entrepreneurs as well, because we are definitely all entrepreneurs, and I think this channel can bring a lot of other things. So drop a comment down below if you guys want to see some entrepreneurs on that can help on our journey. But I use Sarah Styles, where data empowers your true potential, and I show you the power of your numbers. Like I said, this is every single week, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. It is open to anybody who would like to join. So if you do want to join, send me a DM on Instagram, and we will find a time that works for you. I am getting kind of booked as I get more people on my channel, more followers. So definitely just send me a DM and we will set up a time that works. Before we get into it though, I have some exciting news. I did release my 2 courses. So they are both out there. It's going to be a series because data analytics can be very complex. And I really wanted to start at the very basic level to help you get a true understanding. So there's a fundamentals course. It is $5. It's actually completely free right now. So if you want to get it for the introductory rate, use intro F. I'll type that in the chat. Intro F for free course. Intro F for the free course, and then I have a 101 course. So that's the next step up. It's still a beginner's course. So I would recommend starting with the fundamentals and then moving to the beginner's course, especially because the fundamentals is free right now. And other times it's only $5 to kind of get you started, to make sure you truly understand that. If you're above that and you kind of start going through it and you're like, I already know all this, you can skip to the 101 course. And that is Intro 101. Will get you 50% off of that. That is a limited time. So if you're watching this, in a month or two, that might not still be the case, but send me a DM and I'll let you know if I have any other specials going on. But yes, those are the courses. I also want to do a giveaway. So if you're watching this video, comment on the video. I'm sorry if you're on the live chat. I'm not going to be able to go through and filter out the live chat comments as we go through this. So come back to the recording and drop a comment about how these courses would help you. And then I'll come back next week and pick a winner to receive the 101 course for free, because the fundamental course is already for free. So that's my spiel. Welcome to Accountability Mondays. Today is Monday. I have Terry and Amanda. I am going to let them introduce themselves. Just quickly pop into the chat. What's up, Duncan? Mr. Styles, if you can't guess, is my husband. Popping in and out, I'm sure, as he's hanging with the kids. What's up, Jacob and Guess? Jacob is here. Margaret is here. What's up, Margaret? Drama-free mama. Great courses. I love them. Thanks, girl. She's already purchased. They came out special release this weekend if you have the dashboard. So she's already cruised right through them. What's up, Michelle? So while we wait for people to pop on and kind of jump into this, let's get to know our guests a little bit. If you guys want to introduce yourself, Terry, we will start. Oh, I did it the right way. I'm getting used to it. Terry, we'll start.
You're doing it perfect.
Tell us a little bit. I met Terry actually met at PoshFest.
Right.
I feel like I kept seeing you and I was like, okay, I have to know who this girl is. She's always such a delight. And you're an OG Posher, or am I making that up?
You're right. I'm an OG.
Yeah, so she's an OG Posher, which means she's been around since it started. I'm sure I'd love to hear. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit about things that are changed and what you see is going to happen with it. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. Full-time reseller, part-time reseller, kind of what you're up to.
Sure. Well, when I say OG, I've been on it for like 5, close to 6 years. So I consider myself an OG. But hello, everyone. And hello, Margaret. I heard you say hello. And Michelle.
Yes,
good to see you, ladies. But anyway, my name is Terry, and I am evolving always on most platforms. And that, of course, includes Poshmark, and of course, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, other sites. I just started eBay. And I love the fact that you're talking about doing entrepreneur series, because really resellers most of the time are entrepreneurs, and I definitely consider myself an entrepreneur. So thank y'all for coming on out to listen to the live.
Now, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Did you say if you're full-time or part-time?
Oh, I'm full time. I'm an entrepreneur. I do like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do different things. So
sorry, I'm like in squirrel mode right now. I was checking in with the chat and I missed that part. So Terry is all in. All right. And then we have Amanda, ms.awebb, who does have a YouTube channel. That's kind of how we connected. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself. And you're a lawyer too. Is that what you said before the chat?
Yes. Yeah, I am. So I'm a part-time reseller, although I put in mostly full-time hours. So I do have a 9 to 5-ish job. I'm a lawyer, but I'm a public interest. I work for a nonprofit law firm. So Think Legal Aid, which has been trying times for that these days. But yeah, so I've been on Poshmark since 2016. I did sell my own belongings, for a while, and didn't start reselling to make a profit from like thrifting or all that until 2017, like later in 2017. I actually didn't even know it was possible when I was first on all those platforms. It's really weird. I saw those articles that like Queen of Deals or the Deal Queen and Empty Hanger did, and I was like, everybody talking about how they make an income, and in my head I was like, how are you making an income selling your stuff? Like, you're not really, you paid for it. You're selling it less than you paid for it. I don't know why it never occurred to me what they were actually doing. This shows that you should read articles instead of just the titles. I don't really know how I figured out that was a thing. You could like buy things and sell them for a profit. But I do remember being in our apartment before this house that we purchased, being like, hey, honey, I'm going to take $200. I'm going to go to Goodwill. I'm going to see what I'm going to do with this. And so, yeah, so I've been doing it for 3 years, almost 3 years now. But I sell on Poshmark as well as eBay now. I did Poshmark mostly for a year and then moved on to eBay.
Did you, I had a question. And then I saw your inventory in the background and it looks very organized. We might have to talk about that. But, did you thrift before? Could you it hadn't crossed your mind. Hey, were you a thrifter before you got into this, or did you start? I always like hearing if people had thrifted first.
Not for clothing. Yet for stuff, like my home was a lot of repurposed, repainted, like taking the dresser from the 1920s and painting it like, sky blue or whatever. Yeah, I did a lot of that. Clothing. So I grew up in a family who probably didn't really believe in that and still doesn't. Even though I made a profit off it, but I do now. Like pretty much my entire closet is thrifted because I'm like, why would I spend this much money when I can go to the Goodwill and buy that? But yeah, no, I actually grew up in and I know that this is like a controversy in reselling, that I thought Goodwill was for people who couldn't afford retail. Like that's what I grew up thinking. And now as an adult, I know that Goodwill is not for that. And that's even before reselling. Like just as a person who volunteered and worked in nonprofits, no, that is not the purpose of Goodwill. But yeah, it didn't occur to me until later in life. So I did not grow up thrifting clothing, but I did grow up decorating with thrifted or antique items.
I mean, I think it's kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, if you think otherwise, but I think it's kind of evolved to over times, because I grew up thrifting because we couldn't afford to buy new clothes. So it was that for us because, I was a family of 6, only my dad was working. And so we did have to go to the thrift store to be able to get items. And so I do think that is part of the purpose. But I do think as new generations are coming and are more concerned about the environment and sustainability and stuff, it's kind of molded into that. And then you do have a lot of most of the thrift stores around me are nonprofits. So they are serving, a nonprofit sector as well. But there are thrift stores, 1 or 2 I can think of in my area that are for profit. So not even necessarily for that, but just sustainability. So I do think it's slowly changing over time to become more about sustainability and not necessarily about you can't afford new. It's more we want to recycle and, slow down the waste a little bit. Would you...
I agree with you, Sarah. I think initially, like you said, when we were younger, it really was for exactly what you thought, Amanda. It was for people that couldn't necessarily go to a regular retail store. But it definitely has evolved, and now it's kind of like the chic retro thing to do. And then, like you said, the green thing to do. Sustainability is definitely all of those things, because we waste so much, I guess, resources on clothes. So it's definitely something we need to be, thinking about.
I don't want to mischaracterize my childhood. Like, now, the nearest city to where I grew up was 30 minutes away. I grew up on a chicken farm. I'm just saying that's what I thought. The nearest Goodwill was an hour away when I was growing up. Like, I didn't even really know what a Goodwill was.
No, but you're right. It was actually for people for retail. So you were actually right. That's what it was for, and it just evolved.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up like very ashamed that my clothes came from the thrift store. And I remember like seeing some, peers, is that right? The other students in my school. Why can't I think of? I want to say coworkers, but they weren't. Yes, thank you. It's been a Monday, let me tell you. I've said I'm quitting reselling like 4 times today. That's the Monday that I've had.
Wow.
That's life of an entrepreneur, right? And it all comes on the same day. But so I remember seeing classmates at the thrift store, and I would be so embarrassed. And now as an adult, I'm like, well, they were also there, right? Like, if they saw me, it's because they were also shopping there. So they were probably also embarrassed and weren't like, hey, I saw Sarah at the thrift store, because they had to have been there too. But it was definitely not, I was definitely very ashamed. I was excited deep down that I was like, oh, look, I found this, I don't know what it was at the time that I found, at the thrift store, but I was, Adidas. I think I probably found a Nike at the thrift store because we couldn't afford to buy it new. But I do think it's evolving. And it always, to me, in my mind, the change is when that song came out about the thrift store.
Oh, thrift.
You know what I'm talking, right? And yes, I kind of feel like that's when it like turned into like, I'm wearing my grandpa's sweater, and it kind of turned cool. And then now it's just progressed into like this hipstery type thing.
I remember going to college. Yeah, I remember going to college, and it was the cool thing to go to the Goodwills and thrift stores. It was like an exciting thing to do, to see what you could pick up from a thrift store. And they would brag about, look, I got this from a thrift store. I don't know, but like you said, as a kid, it's a different thing when you're a kid. You don't want to really say that you didn't get something brand new when you're a kid. I definitely can relate to that.
For sure. What were you going to say, Amanda?
Oh, I said, like, we just didn't have thrift stores where I grew up. Like, I mean, we didn't get a Walmart until I was in high school. I had dial-up until college. I mean, like, I lived in a rural community.
Just wasn't
I wore new clothing, but it was Walmart. So, I mean, it wasn't like, but yeah, it wasn't there. But yeah, definitely when I went to school at University of Georgia to begin with, and in Athens, Georgia, thrifting, and, there was an art community. So yeah, I learned of it there.
Yeah. So we're having a couple questions, and I think you guys can probably speak. I think most resellers can speak to this that make some kind of money on it. But a couple questions about time management. Someone, Drama Free Mama, mentioned, where does she, I'm assuming talking to me, find the time to do all of this? I'm sure you will help, but holy cow, she just seems to come up with new content. And I don't know if you guys follow Resellers Passion. She is on here as well too. And she definitely has all hands in like 17 gazillion different baskets. Some chat in the comments talking about some time management. So I can speak a little bit to what I do and how I seem to do it all. But I'd love to hear your guys' perspectives too. Terry, you're an entrepreneur. You listed off, I think, every social media platform that you're on top of reselling, which is social media is a full-time job in addition to reselling. And then Amanda, you're a lawyer for a nonprofit in a pandemic. So I'd imagine that's probably more than 40 hours, or at least, 40 hours a week. And then you're reselling on top of it. So any time management skills or tips and tricks that you guys have to really, do it all?
You just have to be a great multitasker at times. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like if you're doing like a meeting or something, because I have meetings, I'm sharing sometimes while I'm in a meeting, talking to people. And I know you can relate to that, Sarah. I'm sure you do a lot of multitasking too, for sure, as you're doing some of it right now. But you just have to be a great multitasker. And then, like you said, sometimes you do have to like schedule time off. Like getting up early in the morning does help before you have to get started on other tasks for the day. And I did work corporate America before I actually like left, and I actually started reselling when I was in corporate America, so I can relate to the 9 to 5 as well. And I just did a lot of stuff as soon as I got home. It would be like first thing I got up in the morning, I would get up really early. I'll be at the gym. I'll be doing some sharing, relisting, and then I get back home and I'll take some pictures, list, and then share some more when I was in corporate America. But I'm sure Amanda got some really good stories about that.
Yeah. So one thing I'm lucky about is I don't have children, so that's helpful. But as far as managing it with a job, so before the pandemic, I was definitely 9 to 5. I had an office. I went to it. I came home. I mean, not exactly 9 to 5, but yeah. But now I'm an advice line attorney, so I work from home. And I do landlord tenant housing, which is perfect during COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm actually on the phone pretty much from 8:30 until 7 Eastern Standard Time. And so I can't really multitask if I want to actually concentrate and, not commit malpractice. So, so I have focus. But as far as like now how I do it, yeah, I get up super early. I get up at 5:36 every morning, and I resell before work, and I resell after work, and I resell on the weekend. What's good about it is my husband loves making money, so he's okay with me not spending as much quality time with him. But also I consider especially the thrifting and sourcing and the kind of negotiation part of reselling is fun for me. So I mean, yeah, that's definitely work. I mean, it takes up a huge amount of your time, but it's actually a de-stressor for me, those two things. As far as like taking pictures and listing, that's what I do in the morning and afternoon and on the weekends. And I've also, I did have a VA for sharing, for example, that I can't stand. And I had to show that it was like, that was important. I didn't have the time for it, so I had to pay for it if I wanted to continue that. But now, like I said, I work from home, so it's easier to do that. And my husband works from home now too, so that's who does that now for free.
I roped my husband into it for a while because he used to take the train to work, and even before COVID, he was like, I'm done. Yeah. Like when I first got into it, was like, I was excited, he was willing to help. And then probably after about 6 months, he was like, no, I want like my time back on the train. You're good, right? And I was like, oh, I guess. I preferred you to do it. But I definitely agree with the outsourcing perspective. And I talk about this in the course, like how do you know when it's time to outsource? Because if you're paying someone to do everything in your business, are you going to actually make money, right? Like how to figure out when is a time to outsource. But I outsource a decent amount of, like, I pay a lister to do it because I do social media. I'm building content for courses. I'm doing dashboards, and there is only so much time in the day. I can teach someone how to list. And in all honesty, I didn't even teach her because she was on eBay first. She's better at it than I am. But that, or sharing some of those things that are easy to list, where like the sourcing, or for me, like the branding and all of this content, I can't pay someone else to do that. Right. So I had to figure out when it looks like I do everything, keep in mind you're seeing social media, right? Like I'm not showing you the 7 times I cried today because of ThreadUp and PayPal and how many dishes were in my kitchen, and my 3-year-old just destroying my room, right? I'll show that part of social media. So just keep that. And not because I'm like intentionally trying to hide things. My stories on Instagram, you'll see it. But no one's going to watch a video of the chaos that is my life. But also I've thought about doing like a day in the life to like show you how I do it all. I don't put my kids on social media.
Oh, right.
So then I was thinking about how much time it would take me to film a video without my kids in it. And then it wouldn't actually really be what my life was like. And it would probably take me like 10 hours to edit. And that's just not going to happen. I did do a day in the life on my story. So I would like take pictures of every single thing I did that day. And I didn't realize how exhausting it was until I actually did it. But so I think outsourcing, if it fits into your business, is definitely find things that you don't like to do to be able to do something that's going to make you a little bit more money. That's how I get YouTube and content done and making lists. I make lists. And then when I have 30 minutes, the kids are playing quietly. And I'm like, okay, cool. I have 30 minutes. I don't know if it's going to be 30 minutes, but hey, the kids are playing quietly. I have some time. I have a list and I can get right down to business. It doesn't take me time to figure out what I want to do. Like I have it all. And I also have everything. I'm fortunate. Our house, I have my own studio and everything set up. So if I have time to take pictures, it's set up and I just go take pictures. I don't have to, put things up. So I think that's helpful too, is to have your own working space. But I'd love to hear too in the comments if you guys have comments too on suggestions for time management, because I feel like every reseller, the time management, like they need time management, whether they're full-time or they're lawyers or they're, moms as well. I think it's hard. So Nikki's saying, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and also I think it really depends on what you're trying to get out of reselling. Because I know there are people who, use it as more of a, what do you call a side hustle. To like pay for student loans or vacations. And, I see some like people on YouTube who are saying like, I can do like 2 hours of reselling a day, which I don't know how, but, but okay. I mean, but yeah, sure. Great. Whereas me, I'm trying to actually, build a business that makes like not a side income. It is like maybe one day a full-time income.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying, Amanda. Definitely. I consider it one of my businesses that I do. So I definitely am always trying to figure out how to expand, think of new avenues. I really just started using eBay. How long have you been on eBay, Sarah? Because I know you had mentioned eBay previously. You haven't been on it that long either, have you? Or
no,
been on 2 years. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
good, Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda, and I wrote that down. When you think that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not listening, I'm writing down notes to talk about. I did write down because I do want to talk about eBay because we're both, and the difference between the two as well. I was on eBay when I first started 2 years ago for about a month, and I was like, this is terrifying. I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And then last December, I got back on. So almost a year ago, I got back on, but I didn't actually start making more than a couple sales a month until this summer.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Drama Free Mama is saying, Terry, I can completely relate. I work 8 to 4 in corporate America, and probably Amanda as well. And reseller after work and weekends while being a single parent. It can be done, and it takes a lot of energy. I'm going to plug my video that's coming out. I'm doing a premiere. It's kind of our wrap-up video. I was doing a mentorship with Chris from A Daily Refinement. What I really like about, he scaled me. So I was able to go from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month. But now I'm spending more time with my kids as well and my family. He's very big into like finding the quality of life, and it's different for everybody, but ways to do that. So we're doing a live premiere. It's a part 2. So part 1 is on his channel and then coming to my channel on Thursday. So there'll be some really good tips in that as well to scale as well as time management. Sorry, Terry, I didn't mean to cut you off though.
No, that's an excellent plug. I'm glad you shared that. I'm going to be joining. So thank you for letting me know. What I was about to say is it just came to the point that I realized I needed to do eBay. eBay was one of those I, for some reason, just said I'm never going to do. And then I just said it's one of those things I have to do if I want to expand. And I'm really glad I decided to do it because it was about getting out of your comfort zone, and I was really making it more than what it was. And, my husband had been doing eBay for years, and he kept saying, yeah, you need to do eBay, you need to do eBay. I was like, no. But I'm really glad I did. So like I said, I've been on it for a short period of time, but I did some listings one evening and got a sale right off. So I definitely see it has a lot of potential. Just got to keep adding more listings. And I'm thinking I can broaden more of what I would actually put on eBay as opposed to what I would want to put on Poshmark, for example.
Because they accept more. Well, let's get right into eBay and talk about it. So you guys are on both. Amanda, you have the most longevity on eBay. Let's start with all of the platforms you're on. What is kind of your, as of right now, for both of you, what is your main seller, and then what's like your secondary?
Okay. So yeah, I actually have a lot of thoughts about this, because I know
let's do it.
I know a lot of resellers who are on social media push, list all you can on everything. Let's push all these sites that will cross post everything. I do not subscribe to that, because I did at one point, and I was on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Etsy. I don't think that's necessary, to be honest. I only do Poshmark and eBay because there are things that I have that'll sell better and for more money on eBay than Poshmark, and vice versa. If I found that I could sell everything on Poshmark that I'm getting, I would stay there, or vice versa. I dropped Mercari because I didn't see anything that I had not selling on the other two platforms. And I actually saw myself putting less time into eBay, because I do list to Poshmark first, because I would also then think, I have to also do this on Mercari. And I wasn't seeing your rewards from that, and it would keep me from growing my eBay business. But I don't think you need to list everything on everything. I think you can make a great income and even a full income on one platform. You definitely can. You see resellers who do that. It's really just deciding like what your business model is and what items you have. And if there's stuff that will sell for more money on eBay, doing eBay, but you don't have to have everything on everything. I've been on eBay for 2 years. I had Poshmark when I did reselling down pretty well, because like I said, I resold my stuff for like a year off and on before I started reselling. I waited to get on eBay because shipping scared me. I think it's like the common fear for people going on eBay, because Poshmark just spoils you with just like, there's the one label you slap on and you send. And for some reason, eBay is scary to begin with. But I don't, it's actually, if you're building your reselling as a business, eBay's definitely, in my opinion, better for that, because it just has more tools for that.
So many tools. So many.
Being diplomatic, Sarah. Yes, so many tools better for that purpose.
It's amazing, but it's also scary. And I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate, because I think, and this is what I love about reselling, is you can make it of it what you want. You can say, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm a side hustle. Listing on Poshmark is easy. I can make a couple $100 a week, a month, whatever it is, just doing Poshmark. And you can go to the business model, because people do it, of I'm going to list on all 25 or however many platforms there are now, and I'm going to make money. I think the purpose of my channel and my perspective on it, but I like having other perspectives as well, because there are multiple ways. My perspective is do what works for you, but know what works for you. Look at the numbers, look at the data. The dashboard has all of the different platforms. When the pandemic hit, I was like, well, I don't have any inventory. So if I want to continue to make money with what I have, I'm going to cross list to multiple platforms while we're stuck at home. And because that's all I can do right now. And I quickly, once things opened back up and got more inventory, I was like, Duncan saying it, to me, it was too many platforms to use up your time. And you have to become if there's one that was easy and all you had to do was list and not know how it worked, we would all be there. And so you're getting on all these platforms and you're not fully mastering them, right? And so but if you don't have the time, or you don't want to fully master them, and you only have 100 items and you want to get as much visibility with those items and not be able to list every day, right? There's lots of different ways to make it work. I am personally in the same boat as Amanda. I'm on Posh and eBay. And that's really about it. I thought about Mercari, but I just don't know that I want to add another one. I do like to have two because of the risk factor. If something happens to eBay, whatever it is, or something has a Poshmark, then I have, a little bit of diversity. Terry, what's your perspective?
The last thing you just said is it's highly important. You need to always be prepared because you never know, and just like so many businesses closed this year, you just never know. So it's good to have other options. I agree with a lot of things that Amanda said. That's why I had never really gone to, there's a lot of sites I haven't gone to. I know some people that I don't know, they have so many sites, some of the names I've never even heard of. But what I realized is as Poshmark is evolving, because I know you asked me something about that, Sarah, it's evolving now to the point that you almost feel like you do need to kind of go elsewhere, not that you have to go in several different places, but I just felt like for me, it was a good fit. So that's why, and for Poshmark, for me, I'm going to prefer obviously to deal more so with fashion. I might do a little bit of home, but probably not too much. eBay, I'm going to encompass a lot of different things. My husband already does because he's been doing eBay for a long time. I mean, granted, I have some of my fashion up there, but I'm going to just be putting a lot of different things up there that I will not at all put on my Poshmark. I'll be doing that. And then I have a Etsy that I'm going to be really gearing towards vintage. So that's how I'm going to be utilizing it. But I do realize that some people will put everything that they have, like it's going to be on all the sites, but they do use like List Perfectly, or I think it's Vendu or something like that to help them to, be able to ascertain and do that more efficiently.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard too when even I'm just on Poshmark and eBay, and I've gotten better as I've been on multiple platforms, but still a couple times a month, I'm like, whoops, I forgot to take that off of the other platform. And I can only imagine. I look like I'm organized to the social media eye. If y'all knew me at home, that is not the case. I overcompensate because that is not how my brain is. And there is oftentimes that I forget, and I can't imagine. But if you do use List Perfectly or Vendu, I think it helps manage. I know List Perfectly does. I don't know Vendu, but it helps manage it for you. So there are tools that can do it for you, but it's a lot to manage for sure. So I wanted to talk to a little bit about, so we talked Posh and eBay. Where do they rank against each other for you guys? Are you more on one than the other?
For me, it's
very question for Amanda. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just saying it's probably a better question for you because you've been on eBay longer.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I have a delay. I'm not meaning to interrupt so much. It's just a delay. I don't hear you guys until after you're already speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No. I just want to make sure y'all don't think I'm super rude. I just no, for me. So right now, I actually talked about this with another reseller earlier. So I have about, I think like 630 listings on Poshmark, but I only have 500 and something on eBay. Mainly because I think there was a couple of months I wasn't cross-listing to eBay for time-wise, and I don't know what items those are, and I'm too lazy to go back and figure it out right now. But yeah, now going forward, and yeah, definitely for the last 6 months have been cross-listing everything. Making money, it varies every month. Poshmark is usually my highest profit platform. I guess just based on what I'm selling. But eBay can, and I do what sold videos on my channel, but eBay can do better than Poshmark. It really kind of varies. Like for example, I'm doing well on eBay now because I just got a liquidation of QVC codes, and those are just doing better on eBay. So, and they're doing for a higher amount. So eBay's doing better than Poshmark. I'm doing more sales on Poshmark. I'm doing more money on eBay. So.
You got a liquidation palette of QVC codes? What's that?
Yeah, well, they're different brands, but they're sold on QVC. The lot was QVC.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you said codes, so I was thinking it was. Yeah, I was confused.
No codes, okay. like coats, jackets.
Oh, codes. Oh, okay, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought you said codes. Yeah.
No, sorry, Southern accent. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I was just. There was something that I was like, I don't know what that is. I need to learn all about these QVC codes.
QVC my channel.
Yeah, so they're
really well.
Those are selling on eBay, not Posh.
Well.
Yeah, well, because they're more mature brands like Dennis Basso and Isaac Mizrahi, not the like the live version, not the Target version. So they just sell better. I have sold some of those coats on Poshmark too, but like it's just going better on eBay. if anybody who follows me has seen on my on my YouTube, I've been doing a lot of liquidation lately. New attacks for quarter 4. So
yeah, and we can talk about that too, because I've kind of done that strategy too. I don't know, Terry, where are you sourcing? Like, where does your sourcing come from? What do you because you mentioned too, you don't just do clothing either.
Well, I do more so clothing than anything else. Yeah, I actually do wholesale, and then I also do thrift. So I do kind of a combination of both. So there's wholesalers, obviously, I can go offline on, and I can get clothes from them. And that's actually obviously helped, especially when you're in a pandemic. But then at the same time, sometimes I like to thrift if there's good deals.
mm-hmm.
You know, I'm on an email list to see if they have like really great sales, if it's worth my time. So I want to get, great designer brands. I look for that. That's kind of basically how I source for right now. I am interested in this QVC. You said it was a liquidation with QVC. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find out about it? Was it like online or Amanda?
Yeah. So I'm actually going to come out with a liquidations tips and tricks video, because I feel like I owe it, because I'm doing so many unboxings and people keep asking for my sources, and I of course will give away ones that everyone knows, like I talk about Jomar and B&G and all those, but
Right.
People want to know like the ones I cultivate that are small companies, and I'm like, I don't make any money off you two guys. I was like, I can't give you I'm like, this is still paying my bills. I can't just give you my sources,
Mm-hmm.
I do tell people it's not that hard of a Google search to figure them out. So,
right.
But yeah. So yeah, it is liquidation off of website. Yeah, liquidation sites, different companies. I don't tend to use the big ones that everyone uses now. I did try those, but it tends to create oversaturation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a strategy for that, and it worked for me. Like, for example, I had a unboxing of I think it was a 100-piece Jomar box that was all the Sandro and Mage and Free People that they were coming out with all at the same time. Now, and I went to list them, for example, and there was 40 or 50 of the same size, same item. And I had a strategy for that, but that's why I don't use them anymore.
And you're not going to share this said strategy, or we have to watch your video?
No, it's fine. I can totally do it. I didn't know.
Are you plugging the video? That's fine. You can plug the video, girl. I'm fine with that. Or you can.
Okay, I'm going to come out, with the liquidation strategies, but also I'm coming out with a comparison of B&G and Jomar, because I know there's big resellers, big YouTubers who plug both of those and are the one company versus the other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. They don't know who I am, so you're definitely going to get what I really think, because I'm not going to get any kickback from them. But my strategy with the Jomar box especially, is I just did the prices right and just right under everybody else. Yeah. And maybe maybe I lost $5 to $15 per item, but I sold it in less than a month, whereas everybody else is going to be hanging onto it for 6 or more.
Yeah. Well, and I don't necessarily think that you lost the money, because are those other items actually selling at that price? Right. Right. And then also, yes, time too. If you hold on to inventory for 6 months, are you actually making money? And if you hold on to it for 6 months, you're now coming into next season. And so it's not even the same season, right? Which is a valid point, because I think I've definitely noticed right now, the average sale price, I'm getting a lot of lower offers. My average sale price is going down. We are in a pandemic, people. We still don't really know who the president is. I'm not going to go down that, but there's controversy. Things are very unsettling right now. Mm-hmm. Things are going to people are holding on to their money. And selling something for $5, $10 less than you sold it 6 months ago, you're still making money, and that money you can reinvest into business. I have grown my business, from $2,000 to $10,000 during a pandemic, even with selling items less than I sold 6 months ago. So you have to pivot, you have to change things. And holding out for a higher price is not always the best. It can work, but it's not always the best strategy.
When I say I lost 5 to 15 per item, I mean based on other sales. I'm still making a profit.
Right.
But I meant based on others, but Yeah, during the pandemic, I have actually grown my business and made more sales prior to the pandemic. And I think it's really because the one thing clicked in my brain, this is a business, it's not personal. I'm not going to take a personal interest in an item anymore. Yeah, I listed for 100. I think it's worth 75. You're going to offer me 55, 60 in a week? Bye. Take it, move on. Like, I don't have a personal attachment anymore. And that's actually a good way to be with wholesale companies as well.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy. I've done that strategy too. In regards to what you were talking about, like if there's an oversaturation of something, which there's a lot of things that do get oversaturated. It's like you said, sometimes you just have to go lower, or if you're patient and can wait longer.
Yeah.
I've done a combination of both. As a investor in stocks, sometimes it's good to hold on and wait. And sometimes I do my resale business like I would do in the stock market. Some things are worth holding on to, and it'll benefit you later. It just depends. So, but you're right. You're right about not having an emotional attachment. I totally agree. Very, very sound advice.
I think one of the best pieces of advice I've got is to essentially not have a personal attachment. Don't get attached to the items because you are. And I think that's why it's hard for people to sell their own stuff or to do. I've done consignment a little bit, but stories I've heard of consignment. Well, this should sell for this much. I paid, this much for it. And it's like, but that's not what it's selling for. And you're attached to, you took it, you wore this at your niece's wedding or whatever it is, and you're personally attached to it. And it's just a number, and that's definitely how, obviously, I think about things as numbers. Everything is a number. Is it going to make me a profit? Can I take that money and reinvest it and make more money? I think pre-pandemic holding on to things maybe worked a little bit better, but I don't see. Tell me if you guys think differently, you guys in the chat as well, but the economy is only going to be getting worse before it gets better with the pandemic, or at least plateauing. We're not going to see this getting better anytime soon. And so I don't think people are going to be spending more anytime soon, right?
I don't either. I don't think that either. But I also, when I say I did the underprice and get it out the door, that is my business model. I am never one to say that you should follow exactly what one person says all the time. If you want to hold on to an item and make more money, and that's okay with you, do it. I just like the immediate gratifying of selling. That keeps me motivated. Me hanging on to an item forever, I'm gonna get upset. I'm gonna be like, I'm terrible at this. I need to quit. I go down a dark path. But flipping it, only making not only, but making a profit of some sort on it, motivates me. That's the thrill for me. But if you're the slow burn person and that works for you, and we may be even making the same money in the long run, do that. It's really just based on what works for you and what's making you money.
Yeah, the bottom line, as a reseller, you are an entrepreneur, and you do actually end up doing the business and what works for you in the long run. You pick certain selections, and sometimes you'll make mistakes sometimes where I can relate to, not necessarily in regards to Jamar, but I've made mistakes with getting other items from the wholesale. And it was just oversaturated. Couldn't do anything with it that year. When the next season came, sold it all and lost no money and actually made money. Depending on what the items are. We know some things are very trendy. It wasn't really trendy items. It was just useful items that people would normally use. I had an oversaturation one time in scarves, for example, and I just held on to them and was able to sell them for the price that I wanted. But I could do that. I was doing other things. And like you said, it depends on, what's going on. And I do have a lot of stuff in my store, some stuff that moves really fast and some stuff I don't mind it sitting. And I have been really patient and waited for stuff and gotten definitely exactly what I wanted, meaning no offers, no anything. They just bought it straight out. So it does depend, like you said, it depends on how you want to run your business, because it is your business.
Right.
Yeah. And Mish Parkey, if you don't follow her, she does have a YouTube channel. great Instagram account too. She's a mainly vintage seller. And she says, cheers to that, Amanda, and Terry. And I agree. It's something different works for everybody, right? And I think you definitely called that out. And things will all sell eventually. I shipped out an item today that I bought the very first month that I started reselling. I didn't make any money off of it. I think I sold it for what I bought it for 2 years ago, but everything will eventually sell too. And that's definitely something. I'm also in the market of it's kind of an ego boost, right? If I'm selling things, even if I lose a couple of bucks, it's like, okay, like I'm doing good. I can do this. Michelle is asking, Sarah Styles, is your 10K a month only from reselling sales, or is that with YouTube and your programs? That's only from reselling. I make about, I don't know, $2 a video on YouTube. So like YouTube does not make you money until you are like, really some big. Of the big YouTubers. I'm not going to call people out, but but there's probably a handful of reseller YouTubers that are making a legit income on YouTube. The rest of us are doing it because we enjoy it. And then it doesn't include any of my digital products either. It's strictly eBay and PoshMark sales in October. Well, we are wrapping up. So I don't know if you guys, I did want to touch base really quick on wholesale versus thrifting. For me, I moved a little bit into liquidation with the pandemic. It never even crossed my mind to do it, but then I couldn't thrift and I was just trying to think of other things to do. Were you guys doing it pre-pandemic? How do you think it compares wholesale to thrifting? You guys both do both, right? Like how do you divvy up when you buy, resell, when you thrift? How does it work?
I think for wholesaling, for me, I try to stick with certain products that are easy to sell, like shoes, handbags. I used to do a lot of leggings. There's just certain key things that sell very well that's wholesale that people won't necessarily be too concerned about the brand name. And as far as like, well, I say handbags. Handbags are kind of like touch and go. If it's like a really cute style handbag, then people won't be concerned about it being a designer. But, I do like to actually thrift and try to find nice, designer handbags if I can, because obviously they do typically do well, especially on Poshmark. They probably do well on eBay. I don't know. I haven't been on eBay long enough. I'm sure Amanda can elaborate on that. So that's kind of the situation for me. But I am liking your video about liquidation that you did recently. Well, I guess it seemed like it was recent anyway. I'm talking about you, Sarah.
I think last
you did the pallet, rather. That's what I meant to say. The pallet that you did not too long ago. And that was pretty much a liquidation, correct? But anyway, it seemed really interesting. So I am considering possibly getting in that because that was basically all new with tags, right? Different brands.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I class them differently. I know people use the word interchangeably, but wholesale, I don't do wholesale. I do liquidation. Wholesale, I think, is buying directly from the manufacturer. I do liquidation. It's just like overstocked shelf pulls from a company who got it from wherever. And I did thrifting mostly. I would do like thread up, rescue boxes. So that's basically thrifting, just with a nice surprise. And I really solely only got those for the surprise because I like to be surprised. So I found them fun to unbox on my YouTube channel. I didn't necessarily do that because it was a great business decision. I just did it because I enjoyed opening them. They could be. I know a lot of people get great stuff, but I got average to sometimes good stuff from that. Now liquidation, I haven't done a pallet because I haven't really found I've started to find companies that I am 100% like, I love this company. So instead I did lots of, 50 to 100 to 150 items from different places, trying to find one that I enjoy. And I did that solely because of Q4. I wanted to do it last year and it came about too late. And I saw other big, people I followed doing it. And I was like, that's smart. Let's do that for the holidays because people want to buy newer tags for gifts and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's good. But I did it late. And also I didn't have it saved. I talk about this in my unboxings, but at that point, when I decided that, I started saving money for liquidation, putting it aside because liquidation isn't cheap. It's not for me. I know a lot of people have higher Goodwills and thrifts, but it is definitely higher than mine.
Well, and you have to, so the cost of goods can be higher, but you also have to have money for 200 items at one time.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you have to have a big chunk of money at one time. Right.
So I saved up specifically to start liquidation around August, September. And now I've found a company I really enjoy, and will most likely keep after December. But I don't think I would slowly switch to one or the other. I like both. But that is specifically why I did liquidation this last couple of months, was for quarter four specifically. And I saved up money for it. I didn't put it on a credit card.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the perspective of both of you. I like having, so I do liquidation. Sorry. I think I probably was.
I think everybody there.
Yeah. I do liquidation, which means like overstock or store stock and stuff. But I also like thrifting, but it's hard for me to get out to thrift stores because I have children. I don't take, especially now with pandemic, I don't take them to thrift stores. So it's kind of security for me. Like I know that I have all of these items, and if I can't get them at the thrift store, I know that I can continue. I have things to list. It's not as fun. It's not as, it's very monotonous. Like, here's what I have. Here's what I pulled out of a box. Here's what I take, it's not the treasure of it. But I find that now when I thrift, I enjoy it much more, and I don't feel like I have to buy as much. I was pretty disciplined before, but now I'm like, I have 300 items at home. I don't need items to list this week. I'm going to buy items that I know are going to actually perform, or that I really like, or whatever it is. And I also jumped in thinking quarter four because so keep in mind, I've only been reselling, it'll be 2 years in December. I did upcycle before that and stuff on Etsy and, since I was a teenager, but strictly reselling for less than 2 years. And everyone kept talking about quarter four. I started in quarter four, so I was like, well, I don't have anything to compare that to. And my last December was the worst month of the year. And so I was like, what is everyone talking about? And so then the more that I thought about it, I was like, this liquidation palette, I think, is probably going to help quarter four because Christmas new with tags. I think thrifting used things are good like quarter one when people are broke, they're buying for themselves. But that's kind of, stay tuned. We'll see if that holds true or not.
You're going to do well. If it's new with tags, you're going to do really well.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought too.
Well, mine is more like a gift. I'm sorry. Mine is more like a gifts perspective. Like nobody buys, not normally, used items for gifts, unless it's like antiques, but so that's why I got into it. Cause I was like, people are going to go shopping for Christmas. They're not going to really buy my used Free People, but they will buy my new tag sweater Free People for half off. So,
and then they'll buy your used Free People in January when they're broke, but they still want stuff.
They'll buy it for themselves. In January, as they spend all their money on my new tax Free People for all their friends.
Save me as a seller. Come back in January. Ms. Market is saying it took me too long to realize that just because I paid up for something doesn't mean it will always resell for 3 times what I paid. An item is worth what someone will pay. That is 100% true. It's not worth comps. It's not worth what you think it's worth. It's not worth what someone would have paid 6 months ago. It's what someone is going to pay you now. Like that's the nature of the beast. Gets a little bit more complex if you want to get into economics, but that is essentially what it is. Michelle CD is saying, I wish we could get a VA network going. I need one, but I am nervous to hire it. And it would be an experiment to see if it would help me make more money. Otherwise not worth it. You look like you have something to say, Amanda. Go for it.
Well, she's talking about a VA network, and I'm like, well, I was just going to say when I paid a VA, it was through Fiverr. I use Fiverr and located people, and those people have, a lot of reviews. The first person I used has a Instagram following, and so I had already followed her for months, and then saw that she was on Fiverr. I was like, well, I'm going to use her because then I can just like tag her on Instagram if she sucks and be like, don't. Because she's not going to want to be terrible because she has a brand. So I used her and then slowly started using other people. And now just use my husband for free. But
no, I mean, I think
free is good.
Yeah.
I think it's a valid thing. And I have a lister and, a VA, but it's just a person that I randomly found on Instagram. She prefers to do that than the shopping. We kind of have just worked it out. And I really promote listing and that I don't list and people ask me. And I really am trying for my followers to find services. I've tried out a couple VA services. I'm sad to say that I have not come across one that I feel comfortable promoting. But I am out there trying them for you guys because I do think that it can help you level up. There's only so much time in the day. And that's one of the big things that has allowed me to take time off of reselling and put it in other places because I am paying someone. I have not tried this. So just take it, I'm full disclosure on that, but I do know Denali and I trust Denali. I like El Dujo Thrifts. Denali, she has a course for how to find a good VA. I have not done the course. That's my disclaimer, but I do like Denali. I've talked to her. I've had conversations with her about finding a VA. And so I do know that she has a lot of really good information and it could help you. I know she's used like Upwork or Fiverr in the past too, because I get a little nervous about, it's very overwhelming to go on there and build a profile and figure out how it works and make sure that you're getting someone, because it's connected to your bank, it's connected to your business, right?
Well, I think another way to do that too is like they all offer steps of services, so you can get somebody for 5-10 days, try them out. I'm also the proponent of paying yourself from your Poshmark every day. So not having a huge amount of money sitting in your Poshmark that someone could take from you. So I wasn't so worried if they took the $20 that I had in my Poshmark closet, but there's a way to look through that. And I don't know. I haven't taken Denali's course either, and I only ever use Fiverr. But you can definitely sift through the profiles to see what you're kind of looking for. Do you want someone who's most likely using a computer program? Let's be honest. And then do you want someone who is realistically has a business? A lot of people will link their Poshmark accounts on it, so you can be like, hey, they're doing this because they know the platform, and they're just doing it as like a side gig.
I know Courtney on Posh, for people who may have heard her, and I don't know if that's who you were using. She's on Instagram, has a huge following. She used to be an assistant on Fiverr. Yeah. And she has a very nice closet as well.
I'm writing that. Does she just use sharing? Or does she list?
She did, yeah. She was sharing. And I'm not sure if she's still doing it now because she's an expecting mom, but she used to do it. She used to have a link advertising it.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody does, if anyone knows sharers, like actual people that share for reasonable cost or listers, and you want to send them that my way, I'm willing, not willing, I would like to vet them because I think it can help. I think really helps resellers, and I want to be able to recommend other people, but ones that I've tried. I'm hoping my person, I've told her, I was like, start a company, train other listers, you can make millions, but she doesn't want to. So here we are waiting for other people. We are wrapping up on the 7 o'clock. I do want to quickly remind you guys that I did release my courses this week. They are looking, how to look at data analytics. I'm not going to teach you how to sell on eBay or Poshmark or any of that because those platforms can change. Trends can change, pandemics can happen. What my course is doing is teaching you how to look at your numbers to be able to pivot and make strategic decisions about your business, because that can last the whole time that you do a business, right? If you truly understand how to look at your numbers, what your numbers mean, you're going to be able to continue to grow your business and make those decisions. So I have a fundamentals course that is very bottom, that's a very first course, basic. You don't have to have any background in data analytics or in mathematics. That is the, basics in it. It is free right now. If you use Intro F, it's free. It's normally $5 as well to just kind of get you started. I don't want it to be scary to people and for money to be a reason that they don't want to jump in and really be able to have this skill set. And then the 101 course is 50% off if you use Intro 101, and I'm doing a giveaway. So if you guys do want to, I'll do a giveaway now for everyone in the comments. You can do it now. I didn't want to shift through to the beginning of it, but if you're in the comments now, go ahead and write what the course would do to help you out. If you're watching this in the recording, leave a comment down below about how the course would help you out, and I will pick a winner on next week's live. I'll go ahead and pick a winner for the course. And then if you are on social media, you have an Instagram or a YouTube, and you would like to do a giveaway for one of the dashboards, just send me a DM, or you want to do a review. You want to try it out. So you can either tell people, no, you like it or you hate it. Hopefully you like it. But if you want to do a review on your channel, your Instagram or whatever, send me a DM and we will set that up. As closing, if you guys want to let us know again where we can find you, and any last notes that you have for people, any shameless self-promotions as well, where we can find you if you're having a sale going on. Check out Amanda's new videos this week, whatever it is.
What's your first name? I mean, basically, the last words I want to just say is it is a business. Look at your reselling business as a business. You are an entrepreneur, so just do what's best for you. Really work your model to, make some money. You can find me on Instagram. I'm up there a great deal. Of course, I'm on PoshMark, Mercari, and eBay, and Twitter. So just reach out. I don't mind helping too. So, and I hope everybody makes a lot of money this week. That's my plug.
So I'm ms.awebb, ms.awebb on Instagram, PoshMark, eBay, pretty much everything. PoshMark, there's no period. And I do YouTube, so I do a lot of videos, a lot of unboxings just because they're fun and what sold. I'm going to try to put in more tips and tricks and not just scatter them through those 2 videos. Instagram, I would say, is 95% my dog. I'm trying to work it to be more 80% my dog and 20% PoshMark, but right now it's mostly my dog. But also, if you have any questions about reselling, or as long as it's not my sources from where I get my liquidation, you can definitely DM me on Instagram or leave a comment on my YouTube videos, and I answer everything. I'm really good about that. I actually get anxiety from unanswered comments. So I'm pretty good about it at this point.
Yeah, I'm definitely out there open to help people if anybody needs any help. What's your YouTube, Amanda? Because I was
I'm Miss Awebb. Yeah.
Okay, because I was trying to pull you up. I'll get with you later because I was going to go ahead and subscribe. But anyway,
I'm going to put it in the comments real quick. If she comes up, yep, she is.
Also, I have an Instagram, and then you can go in my bio, and there's a link tree for everything. So.
Yeah, because I got you on Instagram, so I was just going to get it from there.
Go to my link tree.
Mm-hmm. Well, and real quick, I'm stalling just so I can do the live comments real quick. I'm going to put you in the live comments too, Terry. But I have to look it up on my computer.
You're fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. So both of Amanda and Terry's links are in the live chat. And once again, the giveaway, if you want to drop a comment down below, if you would like one of the courses. It is bedtime over here in Denver. I'm about done. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your guys' advice and your openness with your business and sharing. I love doing these calls and learning from each other and having these conversations, because it is, you can do it so many different ways and not one way works for every single person. And so having ideas and trying things out, and also just talking to other people that do what you do is helpful. Just having, this is my weekly staff meeting. Who would have thought I would have missed that about corporate America? But here I am conducting my weekly staff meeting. So thank you guys so much. And again, this is every Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. If you would like to join, just send me a DM on Instagram and we will set up a time that I have open. And I hope everyone has a great night. And to Terry's point, makes lots and lots and lots of money.